This is Sports Drive.
Welcome back into Sports Drive. I am your host, Zach Woodard. Like I said at the very beginning of the show, high school basketball playoffs are here for the boys. But before we get into that officially, there is a chance for what is now deemed the Leslie Broadhurst playoff preview going on at Randall. Joining me now to talk about it, head coach of the Randall Raiders. Just saw him on Tuesday, had to bring him back in. Coach Trevor Johnson. Coach, how are you doing today?
Hey, I'm great, Zach. Thanks for having me again.
Absolutely, absolutely. Definitely want to talk about the playoff preview. I want to start it off. I know the last time we talked was right before that Borger game that you guys just finished up, and the possibilities of having that perfect district record. Now that it's officially clinched, I mean, what was the feeling like in that locker room afterwards?
Yeah, really cool feeling. You know, we got to celebrate our seniors against Borger Tuesday night, so it was good to go out with a win and finish at the House of Doom undefeated on the season. And 14-0 in district's hard to come by, especially in our district. So it was a really, really cool night for our guys.
Absolutely. And I mean, I want to talk about, too, heading into the playoffs. I know we talked about the matchup you guys are going to have, but, I mean, you look at this district as a whole, essentially 5 teams qualify for the playoffs. Only one can get in. Obviously, Canyon and Hertford having their playing game today. There's no other district that has that. I mean, what does that speak to the volumes of the difficulty in here of having 5 teams that belong in the postseason, but only 4 can get in?
Yeah, no doubt. And you look at different districts around the state, and like I feel bad because like our 6th and 7th place teams might be able to get into the playoffs in some different districts too. So, yeah, it's a really tough district. I'm glad that stretch is over with, and all those road games definitely prepared us for the playoffs going forward. But yeah, I'm excited to go out and watch Canyon and Hertford tonight, see who gets in the playoffs. But you know, we had our district meeting yesterday, and we all told each other, man, we're glad this stretch is over. Let's move on. So, yeah, really tough district this year.
Oh, I mean, and you looked at it, too. I know we talked a little bit about it before we got started, but the different divisions, obviously the winner of Canyon and Hertford get that number 2 spot in Division 1, and then you and Pampa already have 1 and 2 in Division 2. I mean, how different is that this year with just not knowing, like, especially until it got down to the wire? You don't know what division you're going to go into, so you can't really look to see what teams you could or couldn't be playing against in the postseason.
Yeah, and that's really tough because on a normal year, you'd be able to kind of map out where teams are going to land and have a pretty good understanding so you can get film going forward in the playoffs. But man, this year it's still kind of up in the air. There's some play-in games that we could possibly run into on down the road, so we're really not sure what the path looks like in the future. So yeah, it's a lot different, and people are having to adjust for sure this season.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just been a long season. That is, like you said, the district stretch is over. It's playoff time, but obviously before we get into the playoffs itself, the playoff preview happening tomorrow and Saturday. Definitely want to talk a little bit about that, what people can expect to see.
Yeah, we're so blessed to host the 26th annual Leslie Broadhurst playoff preview. You know, we've got a great partner in First United Bank and Stuart Sutton, man. They support us a lot here at Randall High School, and this event would not be possible without those guys. But yeah, 6 really strong quality games tomorrow here at the Leslie Broadhurst Gymnasium and 7 on Saturday. So getting to bring in 26 local teams is a really, really cool deal. And this event's really, really special to my heart because I used to play in this when I was in high school, and I was at a small school. And you know, we try to keep it the same every year. We've got Chris Albrock on the mic, who makes it a really special feel in there as well. And you know, we love our facility, love our gym, and we love to be able to host these guys and try to match them up with the best matchup possible and get them a real quality playoff feel as they go into the playoffs.
Yeah, and I mean, what does that do, especially for a team that's heading into the postseason that may not be used to seeing the biggest of crowds, and now you just kind of throw them into the deep end, toss them into the House of Doom, and making them play in one of the most rambunctious gyms there is in the Panhandle. But I mean, just being able to build that intensity, that momentum, and just be able to get a look at what the playoffs really feel like before you get there.
Yeah, especially because all these matchups, they're all playoff teams. So every team in this thing is a very quality opponent for each other. So it really gives them that atmosphere, that feel, what a playoff intensity feels like, and playing against different opponents that they haven't seen this year. And we got some teams from down south of Lubbock that are even coming to play. And, you know, it's really good for players to be, because some of these small school teams, you know, their gym's not as big as this one. They might not have speakers as loud as this one, you know, and the number of fans that are going to show up is going to be really good too. So, yeah, it's a really cool event, and I think it really gets teams ready for the playoff run.
Absolutely. I mean, and you talked about it too, just kind of speaking on how this has expanded. 26th annual, obviously not as big as was it once started, but just being able to see the growth and being able to reach out to teams across and being able to do it, and now renaming it the Leslie Broadhurst Playoff Preview. I mean, just how special is it as a whole to see it all come together?
Yeah, back when I was in high school, it was just on Saturday only. So there were about 6 to 7 games on Saturday. And here in the past, really 10 years, we've expanded it to Friday and Saturday and involved more teams because, you know, my phone blows up once you get to about January after Christmas. Man, can we get in the playoff preview? We'd love to come up. And, man, we're talking about teams like down by Abilene, Dallas-Fort Worth that want to come up here and play, which is a really, really neat deal. And, you know, it was probably the easiest decision I've made as the head coach so far in naming it after Coach Broadhurst because, man, like I told you earlier, man, this event's special because I was a small town kid that got to play in it, and we looked forward to playing in it every single year. And, you know, the fans from small towns love to come up here, take a day off on Friday and come watch games and go out to eat in Amarillo. So, you know, Coach provided that opportunity for a bunch of small schools, and it's only right to name it after him because he was a special man and he did so much for the basketball community and all the communities around here.
Absolutely, and I mean there's so many things like that go into it, like you mentioned, just a special thing. And now people get to come in to Amarillo. They maybe some teams that never decided to stop by. You know, there's a Buc-ee's here now, so I feel like it's a tourist attraction. Obviously, the Big Texan, I still haven't been. I've been told not to go. So I mean, it's going to be super fun to be able to cover that Friday, Saturday. I'll go ahead and throw this up one more time for everybody that is watching. I mean, you named it too. You got teams, you got New Deal, Floydada, WT High. I mean, just lots of teams that get to come in and experience some good basketball at the House of Doom. I do think it's a little unfair to toss them into the deep end, into such a crazy gym that is. I'm super jealous that I was never able to step foot on that floor and be able to play basketball there. But it'll be great times to enjoy. But Coach Johnson, I appreciate you coming on talking about it. Playoff preview for everybody else. I know you guys are having a playoff preview in the film room of your own, getting ready for first round of playoffs. But I appreciate you stopping by and chatting about it.
Yes, sir. Thanks for the time today, Zach.
Absolutely. We'll be right back with some more Sports Drive for you right after this break.